Very- So, a very warm welcome to all of you for today's session on the Bhagavad Gita. We'll start our session with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, today we'll be starting with the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. This fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is very, very special. Actually, fifth chapter is an extension of the fourth chapter. And sixth chapter is an extension of the fifth chapter. So these three chapters are related to each other. And the basis of both fifth and sixth chapters is the fourth chapter. Because fourth chapter, Lord Krishna talks about divine knowledge, Divya Gyan. And we discussed Lord Krishna in the fourth chapter. He talks about how this divine knowledge was received in disciplic succession and how we receive this divine knowledge by the mercy of the spiritual master. We have to go to the spiritual master, bow down and serve him throughout our life. And in this way, we are able to receive divine knowledge. And then Lord Krishna, we discussed in the last part of the fourth chapter, he glorifies this divine knowledge. He says that once a person is situated on this boat of divine knowledge, then he is able to surpass all miseries. And even though a person may be the most sinful person, but still, if he is able to attain divine knowledge, that is real atonement. Because when a person gets situated on the platform of divine knowledge, he develops higher taste or a superior taste, and then automatically lower taste will go away. And at the end of his life, if he practices this way of living, then he enters into the realm of the Supreme Lord, which is the goal of human life. So now today we'll begin our discussion with the first shloka of the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. This fifth chapter talks about, in the beginning part, talks about real form of renunciation. What is real renunciation? What is real sannyas? Then Lord Krishna also talks about some yoga processes. And then he talks about his supreme position. So we'll begin with the first shloka of the fifth chapter. Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yashreya etayoreka तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्. अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यश्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्. Translation. Arjun said, O Krishna, you have spoken nicely about the renunciation of work and then again about work in union with the Supreme Lord. Kindly explain to me decisively which of these two is for the ultimate benefit. So now Arjun is asking a genuine question to Lord Krishna. So questioning is not prohibited in spiritual life. Questioning, in fact, it deepens our understanding. So it's not that Lord Krishna is telling Arjun that he cannot question. No, Arjun is asking questions, but relevant questions, which are important for understanding the purpose of human life. So Arjun is asking here that sannyasam karmanam. You see, so Arjuna vacha sannyasam karmanam. Sannyas means, so generally Sannyas is an order of varnashram. Varnashram means our human society is divided into four varnas and four ashramas. Four varnas are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and four ashramas are Brahmachari, Grihasth, Vanaprast, and Sannyas. So, Sannyas means renounced order of life. When we give up everything, in fact, the meaning of sannyas is Sat Jod Nyas. It comprises of two words, Sat and Nyas. That is why sannyas. So Sat means Krishna and Nyas means when we give up everything for the pleasure of Krishna, when we give up all our material connections to get connected to Krishna, that is called sannyas. So sannyas is an order also, and sannyas also means to give up, to renounce. Okay. So in this shloka, sannyas means to give up. So Lord Krishna is saying here, Arjun is saying here, sannyasam karmanam Krishna. So Arjun is asking Lord Krishna that Krishna, sannyasam karmanam. Karmanam means activities. So sannyasam karmanam means to give up material activities or to give up activities. Punar yogam cha shamsasi. That Krishna, you spoke about, shamsasi means to speak. So Arjun is asking that Krishna, you spoke about giving up activities, and punar yogam cha shamsasi, and you also spoke about yogam. Yoga means union. Yog means union. Viyog means separation. So Arjun is saying that Krishna, you spoke about giving up activities and you also spoke about yogam, union with you, union with Krishna. Yashreya etayorekam. Now of these two, Yashreya, Shreya means which is superior, which is for the ultimate benefit. Please tell me which is better. Tan me bruhi. Bruhi means kindly speak to me or kindly explain to me. Sunishchitam, definitely, decisively. Krishna, please tell me decisively which of these two paths is better, to give up activities or to engage in yoga or union with you. Right? So yoga also means, because whenever we talk about yoga, we must understand yoga means, in Sanskrit, the word yog means union. And union with whom? With Krishna. In fact, the word bhakti also, bhakt means to unite. Vibhakt means vibhajan, to separate. So bhakt also means union and yoga also means union. So the word bhakti and the word yoga are both same. They both have the same meaning. So that is why many times we say bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga means when we engage in loving devotion with Krishna. So that is called bhakti yoga. So now Arjun is asking here that Krishna, you spoke about sannyasam karmanam, and then you also spoke about yoga. That means to engage in loving devotional service. So out of these two, which is better? And generally, this is what people think. This is generally the understanding amongst people, that spiritual life or bhakti or devotion to Krishna means that you have to give up everything, you have to give up all your activities, and you have to go to the forest and sit underneath a tree and do nothing. That's what people generally think when they hear about spiritual life, when they hear about uh, bhakti, when they hear about spiritual process, they think that spiritual process means no activity. We have to give up all activities and we have to go to the forest, sit underneath a tree and do nothing. But that's not true. We will see. Fifth chapter is all about this. Because spirit soul can never be inactive. Activity is the constitution of the soul. Spirit soul means activity. Spirit soul means consciousness. These are all symptoms of the spirit soul. Consciousness, activity, uh, desires. These are all symptoms of the soul. So spirit soul can never be inactive. So inactivity is not spiritual life. That is a wrong conception of spiritual life. Right? So Arjun is asking that how can both be true? That I give up my activities also, and then I engage in devotional service to the Lord also. How can both be true? That is the question which is asked by Arjun here. Because you see, the word which is used, the first word which he uses is sannyasam karmanam. Sannyasam karmanam means to give up all karmas, to give up all activities. And then he says Krishna punar yoga, to engage in union with Krishna. So both have been spoken by the Lord. Bhakti also, and to give up work also. So which of these two is better? That's what Arjun is asking. Because Arjun's understanding, Arjun is also thinking like that. That spiritual life means to give up everything, go to the forest and do nothing. Inactivity. Generally, people think spiritual life means inactivity. But no, that's not a fact. And that's what we will see Lord Krishna will explain in the next shloka. Let's see the answer given by Lord Krishna to Arjun with regards to the question. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Sannyasah Karma Yogascha Nishreyasakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Sannyasah Karma Yogascha Nishreyasakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, said, renunciation of material work and work in union with me, devotional service, both lead to ultimate perfection. However, of these two, work in union with me, devotional service, is superior to the renunciation of material work. Now, very important shloka. Lord Krishna answers the question asked by Arjun. So, what is Lord Krishna saying here? That sannyasah karma yogascha nishreyas karav ubhav. Ubhav means both of them. So Lord Krishna is saying that sannyasah and karma yoga nishreyas. He is saying that Arjun, both of them, whether you talk about sannyas or you talk about karma yoga, both are good. But tayostu means of these two which I spoke about, karma sannyasat. Karma sannyasat means as compared to karma sannyas, karma yoga vishishyate. Karma yoga is superior than karma sannyas. So karma yoga is superior to karma sannyas. Now what is karma sannyas? Karma sannyas means to give up. And karma sannyas means to give up our activities, to stop acting, to or inactivity. That is called karma sannyas. Karma yoga means when we engage our work, we dovetail our work in the service of the Supreme Lord, in the service of Krishna. That is called karma yoga. Karma yoga means karma is there, activity is there, but the results of our activities are offered and dedicated to Krishna. That is called karma yoga. Generally speaking, there are different types of yoga processes. Karma yoga means when our karma or our activities are yoga. Yoga means united with Krishna. When we dovetail our work in the service of Krishna. That is called karma yoga. So, I'll give you an example. So, generally in lower grades in school, little kids, they are taught number line. So, on the number line, if you see, it begins with 0. Then from 0, on the right hand side are positive numbers, and on the left hand side of 0 are negative numbers. So, if you go on the right hand side, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. And if you go on the left hand side, then it will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay. So on the left hand side of 0 are negative numbers, and on the right hand side of 0 are positive numbers. Now, why I gave this example? Negative numbers are negative. 0 means neither it is negative nor positive, and positive means they are above 0, they are greater. Negative means lower than 0. Positive means greater than 0. Okay. And 0 is neutral condition. Now, on the top of this, I'll give you another example to substantiate this completely. Generally, people are very fond of playing sports. Cricket, soccer, hockey, football. These different kinds of sports people play. For example, if a person, he loves playing sports, say soccer or hockey or cricket or whichever sport he likes. So, for example, if a person loves playing soccer or football, so he enjoys it. But then one day he falls sick. He falls, he's having severe fever, and his temperature of the body is rising. Now, he loves playing football. But when he's not well or when he's having fever, in fever, if he goes to play football, what will happen? Although he will be standing in the field, but he'll not be able to play the way he wants to do. And although he should not go and play at that time, but suppose he goes because he has that experience of pleasure when he plays football, he goes and plays even for little duration of time, very quickly he'll get fatigued, and that sport, that football which used to give him pleasure, will become a source of misery. His fever will increase, pain in the body will increase, isn't it? Why? Because he was playing football in diseased condition. So now then he stops playing football for a long time, and say after 1 week he gradually gets cured, and now he is not having fever. So when although he is not completely, he has not become healthy, but he's not having fever now. So in that state also he can go and play. So in that state, when he goes and plays football, he may not be very blissful, but okay, he will play just like in a neutral way. But gradually, when he becomes healthy again, he gradually recuperates completely. He becomes again healthy. And in healthy state, when he goes and plays football, he will feel again that enjoyment which he used to feel earlier. So what does it mean? It means that activities in diseased condition are miserable for us. Activities in neutral condition are neither miserable nor very blissful. But activities in healthy condition are, they are source of joy. They are source of pleasure. Isn't it? That's why I gave example of this number line. So negative numbers means diseased condition of life. 0 means neither diseased nor healthy. And positive numbers means healthy condition of life. Okay. So now Lord Krishna is telling that sannyas and karma yoga both are good. Now here sannyas does not mean the sannyas order of life. No. Here sannyas means giving up material work or giving up activities or to become inactive. So Lord Krishna is saying that inactivity and activity in union with Krishna. So activity in union with Krishna is called karma yoga and inactivity is called karma sannyas. Okay. So Lord Krishna is telling that Arjun, both karma sannyas and karma yoga, both are good. And why Lord Krishna is saying this? Because karma sannyas, that means to give up activity or to become inactive, is better than negative activity. Inactivity is better than negative activity. Children, sometimes we see little children, they create nuisance all around. They'll play and they'll create nuisance everywhere. So what do? We call them and tell them, sit down, don't do anything, sit here. We make them inactive for some time. Why? Because if they become active, they will create nuisance. In Hindi, there is a proverb which says, Bandar ke haath mein nariyal. Bandar ke haath mein nariyal means if you give coconut in the hand of a monkey, so it is said that we should never give coconut in the hand of a monkey. Why? Because then monkey will break someone's head with that coconut. Because the monkey imitates human beings. So the monkey will watch that human beings are breaking coconut. So monkey will also break coconut on someone's head. So that is why we never give coconut to a monkey. Similarly, negative action. It's better to become inactive than performing negative activity or material activity. Because material activity becomes a source of misery. So that is why Krishna is saying that karma sannyas, that means inactivity, is better than material work. Because a person engaged in material work, he will do only that is basically compared to diseased condition of life. So when you perform activities in diseased condition of life means material condition of life, then that work will ultimately lead to misery. So it's better than that to stop activity. Just like I gave example of children. If they are active, they will do all kinds of nuisance. They will create nuisance. So it's better to stop them from acting at that time. But that is not the goal of life, to stop activity or to become inactive. That is not the goal of life. Because spirit soul can never be inactive. But yes, for the time being, till that person develops a higher taste, till that person becomes healthy, it's better to not work. Just like I gave example of football. It's better not to play when he's diseased, right? It's better not to play when he's diseased. Similarly, it's better not to work when a person is in material state of existence. So that is why Lord Krishna is saying here that karma sannyas is also good. Like you see the first sentence, sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyas karabhubhav. Arjun, both are good. Karma sannyas is also good. Karma sannyas means inactivity. That is also good because that is better than material work, because material work will create more misery. So inactivity is better than material work, but you see what is he saying? Karma yogo vishishyate. But karma yoga or activity in union with Krishna, which is called bhakti, is always better, is always superior. Action in union with Krishna is always superior, is always greater, right? So loving devotional service to Krishna is higher quality of work. So till we develop higher taste, till a person develops higher taste, it is recommended that better you don't work at that time. But once a person develops higher taste, he becomes active. You'll never find pure devotees inactive. Narad Rishi, Lord Hanuman, Vyasdev, Shukdev Goswami, they are never inactive. They are always active. So inactivity is for those who are in material state of existence. They are told that you stop working, because if they work, they will act materially and then they will create reactions. These reactions will lead to misery ultimately. So they are said that you stop working till you develop higher taste. So that's what Lord Krishna is saying here. That so Bhakti Yoga means action in union with Krishna, loving devotional service to Krishna is healthy state of working. Okay. Karma sannyasat means to give up activity or inactivity is neutral state of working, which is zero. And material work is diseased state of working. So when a person is diseased, he is told that you stop working. So that is karma sannyas. But when he becomes healthy again, when he develops higher taste, then automatically he start working. But that work will be in bhakti yoga, in loving devotional service to Krishna. And that is considered as the highest and the superior quality of work which a human being can do, can perform. Now, text 3, shloka number 3. ज्ञेयः स नित्य सन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न कांक्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते ज्ञेयः स नित्य सन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न कांक्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखम बंधात् प्रमुच्यते. Translation: O Mahabaho, a person who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his work is to be known as truly renounced. He attains real happiness by rising above all dualities and thus becomes liberated from all material bondage. Very important shloka. So what is Lord Krishna saying here? That Gyeyaha. Gyeya means to be known. So Gyeya sa Nitya Sannyasi. Nitya Sannyasi, because in the previous shloka also Lord Krishna talks about sannyas. Sannyas means to give up work. So now Lord Krishna is talking about who is a true sannyasi. That's why here the word which he is using is Nitya Sannyasi. Nitya Sannyasi means a person who is truly renounced. What is the meaning of a true sannyasi? Sannyasi means a renounced person. So, Gyeyah Sanitya Sannyasi Yo na dveshti na kankshati. So, who is a Nitya Sannyasi? Who is a true sannyasi? Yo na dveshti na kankshati. One who does not dveshti. Dveshti means hatred. Hatred for anyone. And kankshati. Kankshati means material hankering, material desires, material hankering. That is called kankshati. Akanksha. Akanksha means material hankering, material desires. So, Gyeya Sanitya Sannyasi Yo na dveshti na kankshati. So, Lord Krishna is telling a true sannyasi will never hate anyone, nor he will have material hankering within his heart. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho, and he will always be nirdvandva. Now, what is the meaning of nirdvandva? Nirdvandva means, nir means to surpass, and dvandva means the dualities of this material existence. Now, what is the meaning of duality? So, duality means the two extremes of this material existence. For example, summer, winter, heat, cold, or hot, cold, victory, defeat, loss, gain. You see, these are extremes, isn't it? So, these extremes are called dualities, and our life fluctuates between these dualities. Those who are very much attached to material things, so their life revolves around these two things, these two extremes. Sometimes sometimes weather will be hot, sometimes weather will be cold. Sometimes there will be victory, sometimes there will be defeat. Sometimes there will be loss, sometimes there will be gain. Right? So that's why Lord Krishna is saying here that yona dveshti na kankshati. So a true sannyasi, a truly renounced person, he will never develop hatred against anyone. Why? Because he knows that every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So why to hate anyone? Na kankshati, he will not have material hankerings and desires. Why? Because his life is surrendered to Krishna. His life is dedicated for Krishna's pleasure. He is not working for himself. His work is all meant for pleasure of Krishna. Just like we have so many examples of so many pure devotees. So that is why he will never have material hankerings and desires. That hankering will not be there. That I want this also, I want that also. Sometimes people have that hankering. That I want to attain this much, I want to attain this, that, So whatever is required to lead our life, that will be given by Krishna. Because we are engaged in Krishna's service. So that consciousness is there in a true sannyasi. And then here it is said, Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. And he rises above all the dualities. Why he rises above all the dualities? He is not concerned about loss, gain, victory, defeat. Why? Because he knows that nothing belongs to me. There is a very famous arti which people sing generally. I have seen many times people sing this arti, and the last sentence of this arti is Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. That means everything belongs to Krishna and I offer it back to Krishna, what belongs to him. So what am I losing? Because actually everything belongs to Krishna. Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. Krishna, everything is yours and your thing I'm offering back to you. So where is my loss? I lose nothing because nothing belongs to me. For example, if a person, if we are walking on the road and another person is walking ahead of us and some $100 falls from his pocket. So there are three scenarios which can happen, or we can actually take three kinds of actions if we see $100 falling from person's pocket. First thing is we take these dollars and keep it in our pocket. Then what will we become? We become thieves, isn't it? Second scenario is we take the we don't care. We move ahead because this is not mine, so why should I care? Okay. But that is ignorance, because then some other person will take it. So it has not gone to the person whom it belongs to. So then we become careless. And the third scenario is that we take those dollars and hand it over the person whom it belongs to. Right? So our great Acharya, Rup Goswami, we are all followers of Rup Goswami. All the knowledge that we receive, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, this whole Bhakti Yoga principles are given by Rup Goswami to all of us. We are eternally indebted to Rup Goswami because he dedicated his life, he gave up everything and worked hard day and night for all of us. Today we are benefiting because of him. So our great Acharya, Rup Goswami, he talks about it. He says that anasaktasya vishayan yatharham upyunjatah nirbandhe Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. He says that what is real vairagya, what is real sannyas? He says that anasaktasya vishayan, we are not attached to any sense object, but yatharam upyunjata, but we know how to use it. Nirbandhe sambandhe, we are not bound to those sense objects, but we use it for Krishna sambandh. That means we know that everything belongs to Krishna and we know how to use it for Krishna. That is called real vairagya. That is called true renunciation. And then he goes on to say that prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunah mumukshubhi parityago vairagyam phalgu kathyate. He says that prapanchikataya buddhya, those people who do not know Hari Sambandhi Vastuna, they do not know the Sambandh, the relationship of Krishna with material things. And they try to enjoy that and they try to renounce that. They are Vairagyam Phalgu Karthete. They are not real sannyasi or real renunciants. So everything belongs to him. Today I may think that I live in this house. But tomorrow it may belong to someone else. 1,000 years, after 1,000 years from today, we don't know who will live in this plot of land, isn't it? And those who will be living here after 1,000 years, even they will not be here eternally, right? So ultimately, everything belongs to Krishna. So that is why a true sannyasi means who knows this. Because this whole energy, this is material energy, this energy belongs to Krishna. So we use it for service of Krishna. So sannyas means, true sannyasi or true renunciant means who works on spiritual platform. Which is real work of the spirit soul. To work on spiritual platform means all our activities are connected to Krishna, because ultimately everything belongs to Krishna. And so many times we have discussed example of a soldier who is fighting for his country, isn't it? So he's killing, but he's being rewarded. Why? Because he's doing it for the pleasure of the country or for the government. Similarly, those who are pure devotees of Krishna, they do all kinds of activities, but because they do it for the pleasure of Krishna, they are never affected by that. And that's what is mentioned here. You see, Nirdvandvo hi mahabhav sukham bandhat pramuchyate. They will become happy. Such a renunciant, such a sannyasi will become happy, and bandhat pramuchyate, and he will be liberated from all bandhat. Bandhat means bandhan, or from all bondage. He will be liberated. Why? Because he knows that victory, defeat, loss, gain, these are all Krishna's concern. Why should I be worried? Because I am doing everything and I am dedicating everything back to Krishna. So if I lose, that is not my loss. If I gain, that is not my gain. It is all Krishna's. So and that's why he is always happy. He is always blissful, whether he is in victory or in defeat, in loss or in gain. He's never affected by all these things. He rises above all these dualities. And that is why he's truly a happy person. And that's why he becomes liberated from all bondage. So why it happens like that? What is the principle behind it? Let's see the next shloka. Sankhya yoga prithak bala प्रवदन्ति न पंडिताः एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यग् उभयोर्विन्दते फलम् सांख्ययोगो पृथक् बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पंडिताः एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यग् उभयोर्विन्दते फलम्. Translation: those who are immature speak of Sankhya, analytical knowledge, and Yoga, devotional work, as separate from each other. But those who are learned understand that anyone who is situated perfectly in either of these two paths is able to enjoy and achieve the results of both ultimately. Very important shloka. Now, Lord Krishna in this shloka talks about the culmination of all processes of yoga. You see. So, what is Lord Krishna saying here? That Sankhya Yoga Prithag Bala. Bala means immature people. Bala actually means children, little kids. So generally kids and little children, they are considered to be immature, isn't it? They will not talk big things. They will always talk immature subject matter. So Lord Krishna is telling that Sankhya Yoga Prithag Bala. So Sankhya and Yoga Prithag. Bala means immature. So Lord Krishna is saying that those who are immature people, they say that Sankhya and Yoga are prithag. Prithag means they are different from each other. These two are two different paths or separate paths. Pravadanti na pandita. So those who talk like this, pravadanti means to talk like that. Na pandita, they are not pandit. Pandit means learned person or knowledgeable person. So they don't have knowledge. They are not learned people who say that Sankhya and Yoga are both two different paths. They are separate from each other. Those who say like this, they are immature because they are not really truly learned. Why? So that also Lord Krishna says, Ekam apyasthita samyak. Ekam api asthita. That means a person who is situated on any of these paths, even if one of these he chooses, Ubhayor vindate phalam. He will attain the results of both. Even if he chooses any one of them. You see, very important shloka. So Lord Krishna, he's talking about these two processes of yoga, Sankhya and Yoga. Now, actually, broadly classifying, if you broadly classify, there are three different types of yoga processes: Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Now, Bhakti Yoga is common between these two. How? So, when Jnana Yoga means when pure bhakti is contaminated with material knowledge, that is called Jnana Yoga. When pure bhakti is contaminated with material work, it is called Karma Yoga. What does it mean? That Jnana Yoga, when a person who is practicing Jnana Yoga, Jnana means knowledge. So when a person who is practicing Jnana Yoga, if he advances, he will enter Bhakti Yoga. A person who is practicing Karma Yoga, when he will also advance, he'll enter Bhakti Yoga. So what does it mean? That the culmination of both Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. The culmination. Different yoga processes are like different rivers, and all these rivers, you see, in every country there are so many rivers, but these different rivers ultimately enter into an ocean. So that ocean is Bhakti Yoga, and these different rivers are the different yoga processes. So all the yoga processes ultimately culminate into Bhakti Yoga only. Till it has not culminated into Bhakti Yoga, till that time, that yoga process is considered impure. Pure form of every yoga process is Bhakti Yoga. Right? So Jnana Yoga means when material knowledge is dovetailed in service of Krishna. In the beginning stage, it may be impure, but gradually, because it is dovetailed in Krishna's service, gradually it gets purified. And then that takes form of pure bhakti or pure devotion, which is called Bhakti Yoga. Same with Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga in the beginning stages, when our activities are dovetailed with Krishna. So in the beginning, activities may be impure, but gradually they become purified, and then that becomes Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So Sankhya Yoga, you see here in this shloka, Sankhya Yoga. So Yoga means Karma Yoga. Here Yoga means Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means action. Action in loving devotional, action dovetailed in service of Krishna, or when fruits are offered to Krishna. And Sankhya means it's basically a part of Jnana Yoga. Sankhya, if you remember, in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we discussed about Sankhya. Sankhya means analysis of spirit and matter to come to the conclusion that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, and we are part and parcel of Krishna. That is called Sankhya Yoga. Original Sankhya philosophy is there in Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam in the third canto. Lord Kapil, Bhagwan Kapil, he talks about Sankhya Yoga. Bhagwan Kapil, he is the son of Kardam Rishi and Mother Devahuti. So Bhagwan Kapil, he talks about Sankhya. Basically, he gives the essence of Sankhya in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the same essence is given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter. Now, Sankhya Yoga actually is a part of Jnana Yoga, right? Sankhya Yoga is nothing but it's a part of Jnana Yoga. So, as I told, that Jnana Yoga, when becomes purified, becomes a Bhakti Yoga. And Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga, when it becomes purified, that also becomes Bhakti Yoga. So what does it mean? That ultimately the result of both yoga processes are the same, which is Bhakti Yoga. Same thing Lord Krishna is telling here. For example, if a person wants to go to Delhi from Mumbai, so one route may go through Gujarat and another route may go through MP or Madhya Pradesh. And one route may be longer, one route may be shorter. But ultimately, whether he travels through a longer route or through a shorter route, ultimately he will reach Delhi, isn't it? The result is the same. The goal is the same. So similarly, here also Lord Krishna is telling, that's what Lord Krishna is telling here, that whichever path a person may take, whether he takes the path of Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga, ultimately his destination will be the same, which is Bhakti. Ultimately his destiny is one only, which is Bhakti Yoga. So that's what Lord Krishna is saying, that Ekam Apyasthita Samyak, even one of the path a person may take, Ubhayor Vindate Phalam, he will attain the results of both, because the results of both is the same, which is Bhakti Yoga. So destination will be the same for both yogis, whether Gyan Yogi or Karma Yogi, because pure Gyan Yoga is called Bhakti Yoga and pure Karma Yoga is called Bhakti Yoga. Any yoga which is purified is called Bhakti Yoga. Till it is impure, it may be called as some yoga process, whichever it may be. Till it is impure. But as soon as that yoga process becomes purified, when the devotee becomes pure, that yoga becomes Bhakti Yoga. So the result of both Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga is ultimately, they both culminate into Bhakti Yoga, and that's what Lord Krishna is saying here, that the result of both will be the same. Now, shloka number 5, text 5. Yat sankhye prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate ekam sankyam cha yogam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. Yat sankhye prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate ekam sankyam cha yogam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. Translation: that state which is attained by Sankhya, analytical knowledge, can also be attained by yoga, devotional work. One who sees that the culmination of both paths, Sankhya and yoga, is the same, truly understands. Now you see, exactly the same thing which we discussed in the previous shloka. This shloka is the conclusion of whatever we discussed till now. So what is Lord Krishna saying here? That yat sankhya prapyate sthanam. Prapyate sthanam means position or situation or destination, and prapyate means to attain. Sankhya means by Sankhya. So yat sankhya prapyate sthanam, that means the position which a person attains by practicing Sankhya, tad yogairapi gamyate, same position he attains by practicing Karma Yoga also. Ekam Sankhyam cha Yogam cha. So basically, Lord Krishna is saying, Ekam Sankhyam cha Yogam cha. Whether he takes the process of Sankhya or whether he takes the process of any other yoga, Ekam, both are one. The result is one. The culmination, the destiny is the same. Yah pashyati sapashyati. One who understands this, he is a truly learned and knowledgeable person. So basically, Lord Krishna in this shloka is telling that destination of both yoga processes or destination of all yoga processes is the same, which is Bhakti Yoga. Destiny is the same. Goal is the same. And we must know the goal. Goal is very important. For example, if there is a football match going on and there is no goal post, then will that match be of any use? No. It's very important to know the goal. Suppose a person is driving on the road, but he does not know where to go. So will his driving be of any use? No. So to know the goal is very, very important. And the goal of ultimately of all yoga processes is bhakti, pure love for Krishna. Pure love for Krishna is the goal of all yoga processes. So goal is we must know the goal also. Otherwise we'll keep practicing, but we'll not know what to do. We'll keep traveling, but we don't know where to travel. So that's what Lord Krishna is saying here, that a person who knows this, he truly understands. So Sankhya means it is a part of Gyan Yoga, which is generally speculative in nature. And Karma Yoga means to work, to dovetail our work, or to give the result of the fruits of our work to Krishna, to dedicate the fruits of our work to Krishna. So both processes are ultimately they have to be connected to Krishna in the beginning, and that requires guidance of spiritual master. That requires divine knowledge, because without divine knowledge we cannot dovetail in the service of Krishna. So it is by mercy of the spiritual master, under his guidance, we dovetail all our knowledge and all our material work in the service of Krishna, and in this way we become purified, and gradually when we become purified, then all our whatever yoga process we are practicing, it culminates into bhakti yoga. So that's what Lord Krishna is telling here in these shlokas. And we'll see the next higher understanding about it from the next session, when we start discussing from the sixth shloka onwards. So very, very special chapter, this fifth chapter, very important, because it talks about practical applications of divine knowledge. And that's why Lord Krishna talks about true sannyas, true renunciation, because that is true practice of divine knowledge. So we'll continue our discussion in the next session. We'll stop here today. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming for today's session. Hare Krishna.